evening, people. What's going on? Happy Wednesday, guys. I was about to say happy Saturday. That just rolls off my tongue all the time for some reason. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are all doing well. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. No football. Well, there is international football. Nations League tonight. Portugal versus Germany, and then France versus Spain tomorrow, which will be a very good game. No football, no club football, but there's always so much to talk about in the world of Manchester United. Lisandro Martinez, wanted by Napoli. Surprise, surprise. Emi Martinez interest. We're going to talk about these funny news reports coming from Northeast journalists suggesting that Mbeumo is only joining Man United for the money and he's demanding to be one of the high-paid players at Manchester United. I mean, it says it in the title, Mbeumo wants 250k, but it's more so for me to laugh at the reporters that are reporting it, because apparently Manchester United don't have pool and all they have is money. But we've got so much to talk about. We're going to talk about Rasmus Højlund. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford as well. We're going to talk about what's happening in the world of transfers, because I can't lie, guys. You know the other side of Manchester? Yeah, they're signing some good players. They are signing some good players. I'm still gassed that United they've got Kone and they're getting Mbeumo, but we can't let the ball drop. We can't let the ball drop. We need to be as quick as possible in the transfer window and sign as many people before pre-season. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Greetings, Manion. Greetings, my friend. How you doing? How are you? Let me know. Let me know how everyone's doing before we start talking about football, which I know everyone here is here to talk about transfers. But before we talk about that, let me know how everyone is doing. Like, are you lot okay? Like, community check-in. We should call it community check-in. I want to make sure my community is good, guys. I just posted something on my community tab on the topic of community. You see, when you see hashtag ad, you guys need to go run it up. For anyone who knows, I'm a gaming fan and I've joined the EA Creator Network, which is an amazing opportunity to work with EA Sports on so many different stuff. And you never know, guys, actually, there will be giveaways here on the channel. So if you are a gamer too and you're into different types of games that EA create, I will be doing giveaways. I tend to do most of my giveaways on Twitter, but you know what I realized? I need to start doing more giveaways here on my channel. You play Madden? Yes, I do, and I'm waiting for the next one to drop. I've just been playing F1 the last week. I told you I'm getting into F1, so I've been playing F1. But yes, I play Madden, I play 2K, I play all of those stuff. Congrats on 15k, Minnow. Thank you very much. Big up to everybody who's congratulated me. And even if you haven't congratulated me, but you're subscribed here, big up to you as well. Minnow, we need to talk about Hayden Hackney. I know it's a name that I've seen flying around. It's a name I've seen flying around. I'm good stressing about to be babysitting a 1-year-old. Damn. But the best thing about babysitting is that you can just give them back when you're done. Right? Like, that's why I don't mind like babysitting my nieces and my nephews, because when I'm tired with them, I just give them back. That's the best thing. Big up to Stu, says I'm okay. I won't be next week though. Got my dad's funeral. I'm so sorry to hear that, Stu. Sending love and prayers to you and your family, and stay strong. I hope you are able to get through it. It's not an easy thing to bury anybody, let alone one of your parents. So I'm very sorry to hear that. But the community is here for you. Show some love to Stu in the chat, guys. One of the best mods. I mean, all the mods are great, but show some love. Show some love to Stu in the chat, guys. So you get jagged on Twitter. I seen that clip going viral. Yeah, I seen that clip going viral. Doing great. Not letting these kind of news ruin my mood. Fair. Big up Minna getting toxic with the fans and the Mbeumo price tag. I don't think it's getting toxic. Do you think so? I don't think it's getting toxic. I just feel like listen, when it comes to journalism and when it comes to like transfer news, right? One thing I always say, guys, is we take everything with a pinch of salt, especially like when it comes from multiple different sources. We will discuss it, but we find ourselves discussing. If we were to discuss every rumor that we saw online, guys, I'd be here streaming all day, every day, because there's just so much online. But the sources are important. But even so, can I just say that I'm not surprised that people are trying to derail the signing of Mbeumo, not just the price tag, but the wages. I'll be honest, guys. I'll be so honest. I know United's gonna have to pay a premium to sign him. I know they will have to pay a premium to sign him, but if Man United genuinely want to get him, I don't think he's far off from the Cunha price tag. Personally, I don't think he's that far off from it. What, except for maybe the number of years he's got left on his contract. I think that's maybe the only thing. We're going to talk about Mbeumo, but let's actually start with this, guys. Let's start with this, because you know what? I'm like, let me just bring the mood down a little bit before I lift it up. I was so upset when I saw this morning, not because I thought United had any chance of signing Rinders. One thing I've learned to accept, guys, is that there's so many players that I enjoy watching outside of Europe, or outside of England, sorry, in Europe. And I always have to accept that is 99% likely, that United will never sign them. But to sign Rinders from AC Milan, firstly, AC Milan are getting fleeced. Everywhere I'm seeing left, right, centre, they are getting fleeced. Mike Manion is going for like 25 million pounds. Theo Hernandez is going to Saudi for the same price. And now Rinders. Now, all of this is caused financially. I think AC Milan are okay, but obviously they're not in Europe next season. They finished 8th place. They've just sacked their manager off the back of just appointing him mid-season. So they're paying out another manager. But 45 million pounds for Rinders is crazy business. It's 45 million for a midfielder of his quality. And I said this time and time again, he's top 5 in Europe in his position. Pedri, I'll put there. Vitinha, I'll put there. I'll put him there. I'll put Barella there. He's top 5. So the fact that he's going to City with no, there's no sort of challenge there. And now, guys, I'm scared. Not because I'm scared of Man City per se, but Man City are about to have Rodri and Reinders. Rolls Royce settings. Big up to Nuruddin with the raid. Come through, guys. I know you lot just come from therapy. We can't do therapy here, but I'll try my best. Big up to Nuruddin with the raid. But yeah, as I was saying, Reinders and Rodri as the two midfielders. McAllister clears Barella. I agree. McAllister for me is top 5. McAllister is the best midfielder for me in England. I know people are going to say, what about Declan Rice? But for me, yeah, McAllister clears them. City getting Reinders and Shirky is insane. It's insane in the membrane. It is absolutely insane in the membrane. Meanwhile, we be struggling. He isn't top 5 midfielders right now, but he's obviously a good one. I think he is. I think he definitely is. Now, historically, Man United might have hijacked these kind of deals, but we're not in a place anymore to hijack deals, guys. We got to stay in our lane. But yeah, I just wanted to start with that because I was like, you know what? Let's start with talking elsewhere. Big up to Nuruddin, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well. United Real Therapy. If you need therapy, which a lot of us do, then make sure you guys check him out. Before we actually start with Mbeumo, let's start with everybody's favorite person. We're going to go through some outgoings and then we're going to talk about incomings. Let's talk about everyone's favorite person, Mr. Jadon Sancho. Ben Jacobs reporting. It seems like Ben Jacobs' sources, when it comes to being outside of the top 5 European leagues, he seems to be well sourced, guys. He seems to be well sourced. He's reporting that Galatasaray are interested in Jadon Sancho. The price tag is expected not to be a problem, but his wages will be. Now, I don't know how likely this is. I mean, the United to Dortmund to Chelsea to Galatasaray pipeline, that's crazy. At this age, that is humiliating. But it's also being reported by, let me actually be correct. It's also being reported by Nathan Salt, the Manchester United correspondent for the Mail on Sport, saying that Sancho is amongst the list of players that Manchester United are expecting to leave. Is Sancho, Anthony, Rashford. However, they might be looking at other players to help generate some funds, which include Garnacho, Højlund, Onana, and Kobbie Mainoo. Why is Kobbie Mainoo in these conversations? I genuinely don't understand it. Why is Kobbie Mainoo being bunched in to the conversation of Garnacho, Højlund, and Onana? Now, I will say, guys, I think it could be a domino effect of Bruno Fernandes not leaving. And I'm not pinning it on Bruno, but I'm saying that because Manchester United have lost the opportunity of the cash flow there from Bruno's departure, which would have been pure profit because his if from an accounting perspective, his transfer fee, etc., would have been completed. They are now looking at alternatives. And Bruno Fernandes publicly saying in a press conference, Manchester United don't need the money. I know Jim Ratcliffe was on the phone to Omar Barada as soon as he saw those quotes. As soon as he saw those quotes, he was probably on the phone to Omar Barada saying, why the hell is he saying that? Why is he saying that Man United don't need the money? That's why they chose not to sell me. But I do have a feeling that we could see this news intensifying about Kobbie Mainoo. And like I said, I'm not blaming Bruno. I'm just saying it is a domino effect of him not of him not leaving. Now, I will be honest though, out of all the players that are listed, and we're talking Rashford, Sancho, Anthony are guaranteed to leave this summer, and then followed up by Garnacho, Højlund, Onana, Mainoo. That's in no particular order, and I personally wouldn't put Kobbie Mainoo into that bracket. I would not put Kobbie into that bracket because Kobbie is supposed to have an upgraded contract at United. Well, he signed his first professional contract with United in his first year at Manchester United in the senior team, and now he's looking for his bumper contract. Let me see. You know what is so funny? I don't even care how much he earns. Like it just, you know what I've come to accept now. I've come to accept now in football. You know, players are going to be paid whatever. I don't know why is it a conversation of whether a player deserves to earn X and Y? Why has that become so normalized when we're talking about players? Just for some context, guys, Kobbie Mainoo is on 25k a week. That's just for some context. He's on 25k a week, and that was from his first senior contract that he signed with Manchester United. I'm not surprised that he's looking for a bumper contract. And is being reported, according to multiple reports, The Guardian, etc. They're saying that he's demanding a salary of 150 to 180, which is I don't know about 150, but I'll say the average players at United, the average salary of players at United. I'm talking the Euros, the Mazrawis, the Xerxes, etc. They all earn around 100 plus. But with saying that, do you think Man United are looking at it and thinking, okay, I could probably, the same amount that I could make from giving him a new contract, like the same amount that I could make from, or I could lose from giving him a new contract, we could make double that by selling him. 180k. This is the reports, but again, guys, you don't know. When it comes to the way British media report on specific type of players that fit a specific kind of identity, I take it with a pinch of salt, because a lot of journalists will try their best to perceive a player in a certain way. That's it. In the same way that it was being, in the same way that the club was briefing things about Marcus Rashford and the fallout there, is being briefed here. And I watched a video recently. I can't remember where. It was a TikTok that I saw on one of Kobbie Mainoo's siblings talking about him. And I'm not saying that he strikes me as someone who's a money grabber, but I just don't know why this is why is this being available to us? When Garnacho was in contract talks with Manchester United, we never heard about it. We never heard what he was demanding. Garnacho's agent was meeting with Chelsea in January, and no one was writing articles or hit pieces about it for me, which is weird. It just doesn't make sense. Does Kobbie Mainoo deserve to earn more than 25k a week? 100%. But also we shouldn't have to know what he's demanding. And who else would be suggesting those stories to the media? We're going to keep an eye on this, by the way. We're going to keep an eye on this regarding Kobbie Mainoo, because I think this is something that could develop now. Shout out James from the Muppeteers. He was saying that Kobbie is working with a strength and conditioning coach at Manchester United to work on his conditioning, number one, number two, his strength. And I'm kind of hopeful. A bit of me is hopeful that he will stay, but I also look at it and think, where does he even play? Like, if you're Kobbie Mainoo, guys, and you've just had a breakout season at Manchester United, yeah, phenomenal one. You score the winning goal in the FA Cup. You then get your first call up to the England senior team. You end up starting in a final for England in the Euros, and then suddenly a new manager comes in, and you find yourself making little appearances here and there. You're making a 2-3 minute cameo off of the bench in a Europa League final. What do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation? Because I don't feel like Manchester United look at him as a piece to build around. And I've said this, in the last decade, there's been 2 other good players that have come out in terms of from the academy into the first team. And that's Marcus Rashford and Greenwood. Since Greenwood, there's been no other good player to come out of the academy. And if you've got a talent like Kobbie Mainoo that's come out of the academy, shouldn't you look at a way to integrate him into the team? That's my thought process. Integrate him and make him not a core part of the team, but he should be included in terms of the starting 11, the dynamic in which the team is going in. You know, when it comes to the midfield, you know, if you feel like he's not good enough to be a 6, then should you alter the midfield slightly so that he can fit into it, rather than looking at it and thinking, okay, he's not a 6. He's not, we can test him in the 10. Oh, in the big games he can't play in a 10. Oh, we got better 10s. Like it kind of makes me wonder. I'll be really honestly, guys, I'm not player FC and I say it all the time. I don't have favorites, but I'll be very upset if Kobbie Mainoo was to leave Manchester United, just because of the talent that he is, what we've already seen. And I'm gonna look at Man United and think, okay, is this now a place for us to nurture young talents, or are we now becoming a feeder team where we develop a talent from our academy for a year or 2 and we go on to sell him? Because if that's the case, and they start with Kobbie, we're becoming a feeder club, guys. He's not a midfield 2 player, Minnow. We need to sack Amorim and go back to the 3-man midfield. I don't like the 2-man midfield. I've made that clear already. Big up to Cass, says he might leave because he wants to play in the World Cup next year. Plus, he needs playing time, 100%. When big up Mads, by the way, Mads. I hope you're doing well. When Amorim said he was looking for athletic box-to-box 8, I think we're moving away from a 6 like Ugarte. But even with Amorim saying that we're moving away, or that he's looking for a box-to-box 8, like an athletic. By the way, Baleba is right there. I know Brighton's going to make it hard, and I don't know how easy it would be for United to sign him, but Baleba, Lamine Kamara, between 2 of them, go sign one of them. I think we're moving away from Ugarte in the 6. I just makes me think, okay, if we're moving away from Ugarte in the 6, or if this is just an assumption, is it Kobbie that's playing there? Is it if Bruno is going to play in the 2-man midfield? And Ugarte, to be honest, I don't know where Ugarte's future lies. I think he will be a squad player for the games that require a player like him. I think he will be a squad player, but I think it's kind of damning him being left out of. I think it's kind of damning him being left out of the Europa League final, like being left out completely. But with saying that, are we saying Bruno's going to start there? What's the point of Bruno staying if he's not going to be like a guaranteed starter? Do you get it? What, like, I'm trying to make sense of it, and that's what we're going to do throughout the whole summer. We're going to try and make sense of things that don't make sense, and when we play the first game of the Premier League season, maybe a lot of those answers, we might get a lot of those answers. Ideally, Kobbie should be playing there, but his legs are a problem. Meaning you're overreacting. City sells their academy a lot, doesn't stop being successful, and no one talks about it. I don't care who we sell so far, as long as we win trophies and successful. I don't think I'm overreacting, because Man United, firstly, we can't compare ourselves to City, because City can get 10 million for an academy player that's never played 1 minute of first team football. United are lucky to get 1 million. 1 million. They're lucky to get 1 million. And I'm talking back to when we were selling the likes of Iqbal, when we were selling the likes of Ghana, etc. We don't sell our academy players well. So just because City sell well doesn't mean that Manchester United should then sell their best. I think my point has gotten lost in translation, Katie. My point is that if you've got another good talent coming from your academy, he shouldn't be an asset that you look to just make money off. The whole point of having an academy, maybe it is to sell them, but you're telling me one every 5 years comes through and you're looking to sell him regardless. I don't really agree with that personally. And shout out to McTominay, because I missed him out as well. I missed him out there as well. Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Garnacho and Højlund might need to dip before Kobbie does. Ugarte being dropped in the most important games end of season showed everything. I think it does. Big up to Chala Boy, says, I disagree. I care about winning with Mainoo. We can't lose our tradition. We are about academy graduates. It would be disgraceful to sell Kobbie. Manchester United have had a academy player in the matchday squad for how long? Like that legacy goes how long back, right? And then how much? When was the first time that Man United in recent years had no academy players in the starting 11? I think that was recent. I think something like that happened recently where there was no academy player in the starting 11. And one thing that was helping us, like during the times of Ten Hag, I think it was Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans being in the team was helping them continue that legacy. If a club is built on a certain type of legacy, yes, the times have changed. Things change, time goes on. But there's certain things I think that are a staple of the club that should continue to be part of the tradition, no matter where the world is kind of going. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think, like with Man United, not everybody comes through into the team from the academy and is capable of, being in the first team. But if we've got Kobe, and the last one I said was Greenwood, but we'll put McTominay in just before Greenwood as well, and then Rashford. Who's to say that the next talent that comes in through our academy in 3-4 years is going to have a path to the first team? Because bear in mind, by the way, guys, this was not me. When Ruben Amorim came in, a lot of people were praising his development of young players. When Erik Ten Hag came in, a lot of people were praising his development of young players. Oh, should we be happy that maybe Man United are now looking at the academy as just everybody's sellable, basically? Nobody comes through and can be part of the first team. Do you think we should be sending Kone out on loan? Good question. I seen some highlights of his game in the under 20. Sorry, he's playing in an under 20 tournament for Mali. Shout out to Sully, who is a very good ITK on Twitter, very good hit rate of like 90%. Who was reporting that Sekou Kone was actually going to get called up to the Mali first team. Can you believe that, guys? He hasn't played a minute. He hasn't played a minute of competitive first team football, and he was about to get a call up to the Mali first team. It's the United pool, guys. Anyways, he was going to get a call up, but he had already given his word to playing for the under 20 team. So he's playing in the under 20 team. I think he should go on loan, but I don't know about going to that Swiss team that is Ineos feeder club again. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about the idea, but I think he should go to the Championship. I think he should stay in England and go on loan to the Championship. But I also look at him sometimes and I think, you know what? Maybe one little good pre-season with the first team and he can be integrated into the senior team. Now, the only thing I will say is that obviously he's needed this year of embedding into football here, because playing football in Africa is different, especially when it wasn't a competitive league that he was playing in, and he was playing in a developed academy system. So it is very important for him to get senior football experience here in England. So I'm thinking a loan spell could do him good, maybe in the Championship. I don't know why they're looking at sending him on loan to a Swiss team that is owned by Ineos. Personally, I don't know why they're doing that. I think the best players at Manchester United that have gone on loan have developed in the Championship. And if you look at even other players who have gone out on loan, like look at when Mount and Tomori and all them guys went out on loan. When Mount was in the Dutch league, he was okay. When he was at Derby, he was way better. I think it's important to kind of consider that. And in terms of, a midfielder and physicality, etc., all those aspects you take into consideration of what you want him to improve on, what you want him to develop on, what you want him to experience. The closest thing that you probably get to the Prem, where he'll get regular football time, is the Championship. I know the level of teams that get promoted to the first team and then teams who get promoted, to Premier League from Championship. I know that it's there's a big gap. But I'm looking at Alvaro Fernandes in recent years and Ahmad and Ethan Laird. People like Ethan Laird all did well on their loan spells in the Championship. So me personally, I think he should go on loan to the Championship. Even Gyökeres went from Brighton to Championship, then Sporting. Yep, he did. You're right. So I think, and by the way, guys, I look at how, I don't know if I'm getting too ahead of myself. Yeah, who does Sekou Kone remind you of? If you've watched him, who does he remind you of? Because I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I shouldn't be talking about players that have come and gone and all of that stuff. But yeah, OJ said it first. I didn't say it. I was just thinking it. But you guys are saying it in the chat. Please don't say Pogba. He reminds me of Pogba. Honestly. Yaya. He don't remind me. Belabor at Brighton reminds me of Yaya so much. Vitinha, I don't really be seeing. For me, it's Pogba, the way that he glides around the pitch. That's it. For me, it's not. Yeah, for the strength in that, there's still a bit to do. But when he's moving, it's like he's skating on the ball, and I'm like, yo, I ain't seen someone do that in a United shirt since Paul Pogba. Pretty decent. But yeah, let's get back into it. We got so much to talk about, so make sure you guys hit the like button if you've just come through. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. Of course, you get to support the growth of the channel, the ever-growing channel. You guys know, man, we're live every day here on the channel, dropping videos every single day as well. So make sure you guys be getting involved in all of that. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. You can do that by helping me reach the super chat goal for the stream today. I don't know if you guys want I might do a watch along tomorrow for France versus Spain, but I don't really be watching Nations League like that because I just think it's just stupid. Like, why are they still playing? It's June. Why am I still watching international football? Like, am I the only one that thinks that this Nation League stuff is just nonsense? Every other international team is they're playing what's it called? World Cup qualifiers. They're playing World Cup qualifiers. And everyone else, I don't know. The concept of Nation League for me is just silly. Yeah, it's greed. It is really greed. I'm watching the game tonight and tomorrow. I will be watching the game tonight. I'm not gonna lie. Portugal versus Germany. We'll be watching it. But I'm thinking of doing a watch along tomorrow for France versus Spain, just because I realized there's gonna be a lot of stars on show. I realized there's a lot of stars on show, and I saw a report today saying Deschamps was using a front four of Cherki, Dembele, Mbappe, and Doué in training. Now, I have no faith in Deschamps being able to, utilize everything he has at his disposal. However, with saying that, I feel like some of the French players are not players that necessarily need guidance from a manager like Deschamps. I think Dembele is very capable. He's looked after at home, aka at PSG. So when he comes to international duty, it's all about, for him, just playing football. Just brings Zidane in already. I saw Zidane being linked to the job. I think it was. I can't remember what job he was being linked to. Was it Inter? Was it a Saudi job? I can't remember. But they did him dirty. I can't lie. When they gave Deschamps a new contract, they did him dirty. Oh, big up to Riri with the big super chat. If you lot don't know, Riri is an OG here on the channel. She is an absolute OG. Big up to Riri with the super chat. Says, congratulations, Mina, on 15k. We moved to 20k, sis. You are leveling up in every way. Happy to be a part of this journey as a follower. Come on, sis. I appreciate it, man. Much love for the super chat. Much love for the support. W's in the chat for Riri, guys. She's the community queen here on the channel. Big up to Riri for that. You know what? I'm going to leave that pinned while we talk about everything else. Lisandro Martinez. Now, there was a report earlier today saying that Lisandro Martinez was of interest for Napoli. Napoli were looking at him. But Nathan Salt has come out and said that Lisandro Martinez has no desire to join Napoli despite any of the links. He's recovering from his crucial ligament injury and is on course to return for pre-season training with the hope of making a first-team comeback by September. Why are Napoli even sniffing around? Why? That I can't lie, that's a bit random. That is low-key a little bit random. But they got some money to spend. Now, he's going to be out injured for, his recovery time. From time they're saying that his comeback, first team comeback, is expected in September, so 1 month into the season. I'm worried about, like I've said this in a previous video, I'm worried about his fitness. And I said, if I recorded a video, guys, a keep or sell list video, and I couldn't upload it because the news came out about Bruno. So I was like, there's no point uploading this when obviously my answer in the video was sell Bruno. So there was no point uploading it. But in that video, I did say that I'm concerned about the injury levels of Lisandro Martinez over the last 2 seasons. Let's be honest. Since that injury in his first season, when was it, in Europa League, in the latter stages of the season when he got injured, since that injury, he's not been the same. He has not been the same. And now when he does come back fit and gives you a month or two, I'm just worried. I'm always worried that he's going to get injured. And the annoying thing is, you can see the balance difference when he plays, especially under Ruben Amorim in particular. I think Amorim, I said this before, Amorim relies heavily on these ball progressing centre-backs. And when Lisandro Martinez was playing for Amorim, January times, his ability to progress the ball, you could see it, you could see it. And it actually kind of made up for what Ugarte lacked a little bit. You didn't really see, I think, Ugarte's deficiencies on the ball, because Lisandro Martinez would step up with the ball, drive through, get forward, and Ugarte would drop into the space that he vacated like a dummy, or not like a dummy, like not an insult, but like he's just a dummy centre back for Lisandro Martinez departing the space. And then obviously now that he's left, now that he's gotten injured, and that's what, 2 injuries? Let's look at his injury record. Let's look at his injury record. Passing wise, he helps so much, but he's always unavailable, so it makes no difference. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about him. Like, look at this, guys. Look at this, guys. He missed 23 games for United in the season, or 24 games. Sorry. Look at this. This was the injury that I was talking about, right? That he picked up in Europa League. 14. He missed 14 games for club and country. And then 3 different injuries the next season. He was out from September to Jan, played for Jan, got injured in Feb to March. He played. He then got injured again. He literally got back-to-back injuries there. I just realized it was until 29th of March, and then 2nd of April he got injured again. Historically, look at his injury record, guys. Maybe we just have bad luck. Ten Hag rushed him. Do you think Ten Hag rushed him back? Did Ten Hag rush him back for what? For which injury? For this injury? For the first injury that he had? But to be honest, it's been different types of injuries, guys. He's got different types of injury. Metatarsal, foot is metatarsal, knee, calf, back. Crucial ligament is just unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate injury to get. But look at his injury record before that. Like nothing. He missed more games in his first season at Manchester United than he did in the entirety before he joined Manchester United. So if we look at, the total games that he's missed, 14 in his first season, 42, and then 24 this season. And I'm not saying he's not a good player, because I'm literally saying that he makes a heap of difference. But I'm just worried about his injuries. That's it. And Johnny Evans is retired. Victor Lindelof's left, right? So the only other centre-backs that we have Yoro, we have Maguire, we got Aiden Heaven. Please let me know in the chat, guys, if I'm missing any names, yeah? Yoro, Aiden Heaven, Mazraoui, Maguire. Surely I must be missing someone. I feel like I've just missed someone out, because we can't have 4 centre-backs. What the hell? Delete. There you go. Thank you, Ibrahim. Yeah, delete. Fredrickson, another. Yeah. So it's the balance of, we've got quite a few young players, and then more experienced players. I don't know if Man United will be in the market for a centre back, but personally, I think if the right offer was to pop up for Lisandro Martinez, I think United have to look at it. Here's the list of centre backs. We didn't even include Luke Shaw in that. He is an option for left-sided centre back, but like, if I'm worried about Lisandro Martinez's injury records, how worried? I'm not even worried about Luke Shaw. I'm not even, like, Lisandro Martinez, I'm worried, because I want Lisandro Martinez to play for Manchester United. Luke Shaw, I'm not even worried about, because I think United should just cut ties with him. Like, I think they should just cut ties with him. it's just, yeah, for me, it's a player that I've gone past even relying on. And I would encourage you guys not to rely on him either. Him either. Let's talk on one more outgoing before we get to Mbeumo talk. Marcus Rashford, Mr. MBE. Marcus Rashford reportedly wants to play for Barcelona and is willing to take a pay cut and will wait until the end of the transfer window to get a deal done. Now, last week it was reported that his camp met with Barcelona. But one thing I will say is, I think Marcus Rashford has to be slightly more realistic, because for the wages that he's on, and I understand he's willing to take a pay cut, but look at the other players that Barcelona have been linked to. Barcelona have been linked to Luis Diaz. They're linked to a lot of left wingers. They're linked to Luis Diaz, Nico Williams, just to name those two. And Hansi Flick has said in a press conference towards the end of the season that he is a fan of Marcus Rashford and he likes him, but he said, I'm not going to speak about another team's player. But it's reported also that Deco, the sporting director of Barcelona, is leaning more towards signing Luis Diaz or Nico Williams. Now, if Marcus Rashford was to go to Barcelona, I think, he wouldn't be the star in the front line, unfortunately. He needs to accept that. Maybe he's been so used to being the star face at Manchester United's front line. He will not be the star in Barcelona's team. This is a big if, by the way. We'll just talk about ifs, because Yamal's there, Rafinha's there, Lewandowski's there. And if they were to go with him over Nico Williams or over Luis Diaz, for example, it's because he's probably more affordable and he's also willing to take a pay cut. He wants to be there. But they are, by the way, Barcelona are actively offloading players as well. So Ansu Fati is on his way to Monaco. So if they can get Ansu Fati out, they can sign a new left winger, which is the plan. And I've seen Dani Olmo being linked to potentially leaving Barca. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen him being linked as well. But it's something to keep an eye on, obviously, for outgoings. Now, last but not least, why am I just realizing that does anyone here watch Ted Lasso? Don't be a disgrace, because how could you watch UV and watch KD and you don't watch Ted Lasso? This guy here, he looks like the guy in Ted Lasso. I swear, am I bugging out? What's Nate in Ted Lasso? I swear Casemiro looks exactly like Nate. Am I bugging out? He does look like him. He really, really does look like him. It's just the hair difference. They look alike. They definitely look alike. Anyways, on the topic of Casemiro, I can't talk about Ted Lasso, guys. You know that I get distracted so easily. All brown people look alike. You can't say that to me. Me saying someone looks like someone is not an insult, FYI. Reported by James at the Muppeteers says that Casemiro is someone who Manchester United are trying to sell this summer if they can. He is not in the long-term plans of the club. I think it's kind of obvious, guys, that he's not in the plans of Ruben Amorim, because Ruben Amorim benched him for a number of months. I think that's kind of obvious. And also, can I just say, I felt kind of bad for Casemiro, because you guys might not agree, but when Jim Ratcliffe was taking over Manchester United, right? He singled him out of everybody else. At Manchester United that had joined over that number of... He singled out Casemiro, the guy that's won the most. Casemiro has won more than everybody that Manchester United have brought in since Erik ten Hag's first summer. Combine them all together. I'm talking Eriksen, I'm talking Onana, Højlund, all of them guys. Combine everything that they've won. He's won more than them. But Jim Ratcliffe singled him out because, yes, it was a stupid transaction in terms of 70 million for a declining player, but I think it's kind of obvious that he's not in the future. He's not in the future of Manchester United. And Man United will look to move away from here. Big up to Ak, who's been a member for 18 months. Big up, says 18 months membership, Minna. Big up, and all the day ones out there. Amorim out. Damn. Yeah, already Amram out. Big up to Aminor as well. Been a member for 18 months as well. Big up to Aminor. Says, Mina, why are we not getting a replacement for Ericsson? How can we replace someone that wasn't starting? But we do need a midfielder. I don't think we don't need a replacement for Ericsson. We need a profile that fits what we need as a starter. Ericsson was not a starter, but I get what you mean. We don't actually have any midfielders that are good on the ball. Like, I say this all the time, Ericsson joined Manchester United a couple years too late, because had he been in his prime, at his best, he would have been, keeping the ball going for us. Manchester United do need to buy that sort of midfielder. However, I do kind of wonder if it's reported, and it is reported, that Amram is pushing to sign Athletic 8. Yeah? I'm talking box to box. We're talking, up and down engine. It makes me think maybe Bruno is going to be that midfielder that's meant to be good on the ball. Maybe. I don't think it's just an assumption I'm making. Big up to Aminor. With the super chat says, I'm worried that we do not have a Vitinha type player. We don't. Yeah, you're right. We don't. Damn, did something just drop off my... I think there's a burglar in my house, guys. But yeah, we don't have a Vitinha type player. Unfortunately, we don't. But United, the thing is, we need to understand, I think, as fans, what is it that Ruben Amorim wants in the midfield? Because I've already said this. I value players, midfielders, who are good on the ball over destroyers. Because if you're good on the ball, it means no one can ever get the ball off you. That's it. Let me see what else you guys are saying on the chat. Big up to Chala says, we need ball playing midfielders for sure. I don't know if Bruno has the temperament to play composed ball in the middle of the park. Like I say all the time, guys. Well, not all the time. I said it the last couple of days. Think to the Champions League final on Saturday and that goal that PSG scored from Vitinha's ball movement from their own box. It was near enough to their own box. Think about that and think if there's anyone that can replicate that in your team. Is there anybody that you would trust to do that? Because I don't think there is. The guy had a heart attack on the pitch and United signed him. Like, come on, he's still capable of playing football. If anything, that should be a. He died and came back to life, like, and then played for Manchester United. That should be a motivation for the people that are not motivated. Come on, Ahmad. I'm not talking about Ahmad. I'm talking about midfielders. Sorry, I'm specifically speaking about midfielders. All right, let's talk incomings, guys. Let's talk incomings because this is the latest news in terms of transfer information. Manchester United have a strong interest in Emi Martinez. Aston Villa are expected to ask for a high price. United reportedly made contact 6 months ago, but decided to stick with Anana back then. Then it has gone on to say, Ben Jacobs is reporting that Manchester United will move for Emi Martinez. If they can get him, he will be their choice. That is very bold to say. The feeling is that he will leave Aston Villa this summer. I don't know how to feel about this, guys. But also, I'm like, look at the market of goalkeepers. Now, he's a proper shithouse. He's him, Cunha, Lisandro Martinez, Ugarte. These are people that are madmen, yeah? Hot-headed people with temperaments, etc. Sorry, guys. I got distracted on my phone. However, I still think he has a bit of some errors in him. However, even with saying that, there's no one worse than Onana. So anybody we get is an upgrade, right? That's the way that I'm trying to look at it. You got Manion, who Chelsea are so funny, guys. Chelsea are so funny. Let me bring up Mike Manion on here. Chelsea are actually trolls, guys. They're actually trolls. They said they will pay 8 million for Mike Manion. They said that they will pay 8 million for Mike Manion. AC Milan are demanding more to the range of 25. Then they said we'll pay 20, and they're saying no, 25. I seen a lot of people saying United should go for Manion. Big up to Aminor with the super chat. Says, I like Martinez and he can handle the Manchester United pressure. I'm not worried about mentality with him at all. I'm not. When it comes to Emi Martinez, I'm not concerned about his like ability or anything. I just think that he's got mistakes in him, but every goalkeeper does. Mike Manion, however, if you guys have genuinely I feel like it's shiny new toy syndrome, whatever it's called, new toys, whatever it's called, yeah. Because I've watched Milan quite a bit throughout the season because I've just been watching the Italian league, and this guy, he's not the best goalkeeper. He's not. I think we might see it tomorrow between France and Spain if he's playing. I think we might see an error. However, the reason why I'm speaking about Emi Martinez, I don't think there's a lot of good goalkeepers available on the market. Like, it's either United go down the experienced route. They tried to do that with Anana. So it's either they go down the experienced route of a goalkeeper, or they do what they did with David De Gea and buy a young, talented goalkeeper that has kind of stepped up. But you have to be willing to let him make an error or two until he gets comfortable. And that's what United did with David De Gea, right? They brought him in young, let him kind of get comfortable. And then, the trust was instilled. Joan Garcia is a name that's popped up. It sounds like it's likely that Barcelona are moving away from ter Stegen and they might sign him. However, Joan Garcia reportedly wants to join the Premier League. Now, I have seen some things flying around about Donnarumma, but it's not really reliable sources. And I'm thinking, why the hell would Donnarumma leave a team that just won the Champions League? And why the hell would he come to Man United? I don't get it. And it's crazy because, guys, with Donnarumma, I feel like he should be 30. Because I feel like he's just been around for so long. But if United are going to sign a goalkeeper, I think they need to sign. I know contract talks is why he's being linked to moves. But I think PSG are going to sort it out. Do you think Nasser Al Khalifi is going to let Qatar put that much money into PSG and then let Donnarumma, who's one of the best goalkeepers, just leave? Not at all. Not at all. Donnarumma has Man United mentioned for the PR contract talks with PSG. Nuno Mendes did that too. I know. I spent the whole of January talking about Nuno Mendes. I did a video about him, all for him to just sign a new contract. I felt deceived. I felt really, really deceived. Being reported, again, we're taking it with a pinch of salt because y'all know that price tag that be flying around. Semeno is a target for Manchester United. Bournemouth reportedly want 50 million. When United are linked to wingers, guys, yeah, and maybe this is because I'm quite, invested in the Amorim way, I'm invested in giving Ruben Amorim what he needs. When United are linked to wingers, it makes me think: is it real that United are gonna try play wingers as wingbacks? Because why else would we be linked to Semeno? Unless Bournemouth, and Bournemouth, by the way, we're talking about AC Milan getting raided. Bournemouth are getting raided. Kirkes gone. Howson gone. Zabani on his way out. Like, you can't... Semeno as well. I've seen Semeno being linked to Arsenal early in the season, but I have seen those links kind of quieten down a little bit. Mina still believing in him. I believe in giving him time. I genuinely believe in giving him time. I'm trying to be a responsible adult, guys. I'm trying to be a responsible adult. But let's talk main stuff. Let's talk about the real stuff. Let's talk about the real stuff. Isn't it funny that, okay, Alex Crook, I mean, it says it all in the surname. It says it all in the surname, Crook, is reporting that Manchester United are prepared to meet Mbeumo's demands of 250k a week to sign him this summer. It's come out with multiple different reporters that Mbeumo has demanded quite a bit of. Now Ben Jacobs has also come out and confirmed that this is the more better news that we need, guys. This is what we need. Manchester United have open talks with Brentford over Bryan Mbeumo. 50 million is required, despite the fact that Mbeumo has 1 year option on his... 50 plus is required, as Mbeumo has 1 year left on his contract, plus a 1 year option that Brentford feel they can trigger, meaning they don't feel under pressure to sell. Brentford also are using Cunha's deal as a valuation yardstick, but Manchester United believe a lower fee is possible, especially with Mbeumo keen on the move. And Sky Sports have also confirmed this morning that Manchester United have officially opened talks with Brentford regarding Bryan Mbeumo. Now, let's address the wage thing firstly. $250K. It's like somebody just said, I'm just gonna pluck it. I'm gonna pluck a number out of thin air, and that's what we're gonna do. Boom. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pluck a random number because you know what? People like Mina are gonna talk about it. Journalists are probably thinking, no matter what we put out there, these dumbass YouTubers like me are gonna talk about it. There is no way that United are giving him 250. Of course, I think United have to give him a attractive wage, but I don't think it's 250. I also think it will be in and around a base salary with probably bonuses. So he might earn 250 in 2 years' time when Man United re-qualify for Europe and Man United re-qualify for Europe and, you know, maybe they're on the path to win something. I don't know. But it's also being reported by James, who I don't know, man. I trust James from the Muppeteers more than I trust Alex Crook from TalkSport. James has reported that okay, so firstly, Fabrizio reported that Brian Mbeumo wants an important salary, but nothing compared to other players like Cunha. James then went on to say, even Cunha's was over-reported. They will be making in and around 150 to 170 plus incentives like every other senior signing we make. That's why I anticipate would be the case. I'd anticipate that 150 would be around the benchmark, plus incentives that maybe take it up to 200. But because it's Manchester United, it will be reported the overall package. The same way that today, when the Rinders deal was announced by David Ornstein, he announced the base fee with. But when Fabrizio reported it, Fabrizio's reporting the entire package for 70 million. Everyone is going to report different stuff. Everyone's going to report different stuff. But for me, that sounds more realistic. There's no way Ineos giving this guy 250 will kill me. I can't imagine that. I think maybe they'll give him 250. I think they'll give him 200 because Jim Ratcliffe's probably thinking, okay, he's bold. We don't have to buy him Head and Shoulders shampoo and conditioner. So whatever 100 bottles of shampoo that we would have given him when he's having a shower at the training ground, we can give him that as part of his salary. He's probably thinking something like that. Like that's how probably Nazir Mazraoui negotiated his contract. Jim Ratcliffe's probably thinking, for 1 month we don't have to feed him because he's fasting during Ramadan, so we could just add that as a bonus for him. When it comes to Ahmad negotiating a new contract, they're gonna be like, yeah, for 1 month we ain't gonna feed him because he's at AFCON, and for 1 month he's fasting. So for 2 months we don't have to feed him. No pre-seasons in Turkey. Many, you never objected 250k per month. Come on. I know, Luman, I know you like to get a reaction out of me, and you do this. Why am I biting to it as well? Shane says 120 to 150 max anymore. Heartbreak Kid says same way they put Cunha as $80 million. Exactly. They're just going to report it however sounds the most. But let me ask you a question. Yeah, genuinely speaking, do you guys, this whole salary stuff, I feel like it's become a new conversation of like the new age of football. Because I remember growing up as a teenager, I wasn't sitting there, you know, at football or at Duxi or like is madrasa or whatever. I wasn't sitting there talking about football and talking about how much we should be paying players. I remember just talking about, United need to get this player, they need to get that player. Like, even I don't even remember growing up watching Transfer Deadline Day on Sky Sports where they're talking about, yeah, this is the salary of X player. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about like 08, 09, 07, 2010 times. I'm thinking like back then. Now it's become a norm to talk about salary and agent fees. And to a point where it's packaged like it's, for example, Manchester City briefed the media that they were pulling out of the Florian Wirtz deal because the package would cost them over £300 million. When you read that, you think, oh my God, Florian Wirtz is not £300 million. But what it's actually saying is the entire package of signing him. So that's the transfer fee, his entire wages over the course of 5-6 years, whatever his contract would be, plus agent fees, commission, etc., all of that. It's the way that the news is being packaged to us to make us react. And I mean, when I saw that 300 million for Florian Wirtz, I wasn't thinking, oh, that's a lot. I was just thinking, why is it suddenly being packaged? Why are player transfers being shared with us as a package? All I care about is the transfer fee. That's all I care about. Thank you. Why broke fans? Hey, you don't have to call us broke, man. Come on. We know we're broke. We're just working class people, man. Why broke fans worry about players' salary and rich owners' money? It's dumb. Shane says we were winning then, Mina. Now we're not, so we can't be paying scrubs big money now because they'll be hard to move on. Miha seems to agree with you with the same kind of concept there. You're right, Mina. CR7 just appeared out of nowhere. However, we were aware of the record signings like Rio. But I'm not saying about the record signing. I'm talking about like the wages and agent commission and all of that kind of stuff. That has become a lot more discourse in football. You know, do you get it? But anyways, my question for you. Say, speak for yourself. What? Because I said that I'm broke. Question to you guys. What do you get? And I just went on about how the whole salary stuff, blah blah blah. What would you say is a reasonable salary for Brian Mbeumo? So he's got 1 year left on his deal, yeah. Plus the fact that Brentford are saying they will trigger the add-on extra year, so 2 years. Ridwan, same. I'm gonna get one. The last time I got a Milan shirt was the 07 or 05. I think 07 when they knocked United out. I have that shirt from that year. But yeah, what would you guys say? We'll probably sign him on a 5+1. So let me see what you guys are saying. Based on his hair, 100k. Come on, man. Don't be a hairist. We don't discriminate here. 120 to 150 max, 130 to 150, 170. Ridwan says probably something similar to Cunha, between 150 to 200, 175 and bonus if anything. Fairs. 150k base plus bonuses for performances. 150 based on his GA. 200k. Yusuf is just, if it was up to Yusuf, yeah, he'd make us bankrupt by now. 200k, 180. Same as Cunha, says Tulip. 150 says Marty. Meron says 185. 50 to 60k plus what he's getting now at Brentford. Okay, he's getting what, 45k at Brentford? He's getting like 45k at Brentford. So you're saying just under 100k basically. 150k. Yeah, I would say 150 or anything around 150 plus bonuses, performance bonuses, club bonuses, etc. Mino, what's Ahmad and Garnacho on? Let's go back and look at the United salary. Let's go back. Ahmad is on peanuts, I think. Yeah, Newcastle fans are killing me, guys. Even Aston Villa fans. I seen Aston Villa fans saying, we have to sell our players. And Man United, who finished 15th, and their owner is saying that they're poor, can spend this much money on Cunha and Mbeumo. I'm like, who do you guys have to sell? Apparently, they have to sell. They might have to put Onana on the transfer list. So I can't lie. If Onana is on the transfer list and they need to sell for financial reasons because they missed out on Champions League, and who told you guys to go out and splash money like that when you weren't able to maintain Champions League football? And now they're also trying to sign Asensio on a permanent. So if you want to sign Asensio, but your financial position is not that great, we'll take Onana off your hands for 30 million. 30 million will take Onana off your hands. Challow Boy says 120k incentives to get to 150. Georgie says 170k. Fair to Ineos, man. They acting like we broke, but we still got money. I'm not buying into it, man. Come, let's look at how much Garnacho earns and Ahmad. Garnacho earns 50k, and Ahmad must still be on his he signed a new contract recently, right? Ahmad's on 120. That is, I didn't think Ahmad was on that much. I can't lie. I did not think Ahmad was on that much. That is a lot. I can't lie. He signed a new contract. Okay, yes, he signed a new contract in January, which makes sense. Scroll up. Oh, let me scroll up. So this, if Mbeumo comes in, he'll be earning around the same amount as most of the people that Ineos have brought in. De Ligt is probably the highest earner, and even De Ligt took a big pay cut, I think, to join Manchester United from what he was on before at Bayern. Harry Maguire, he's been there for quite some time. Christian Eriksen obviously is leaving. That's half of Jadon Sancho's salary, what United have been paying. Luke Shaw, bro, imagine getting paid $7.5 million a year to do nothing. That's my dream. People always ask me, yeah, what's my dream job? You know, there's this guy that stops people in the streets and he asks them, like, what's your dream job? I have never bumped into him because you know damn well, if I stop for someone who's got a mic and they say, what's your dream? Like, can I make it happen? I'm like, my dream is to do nothing. My dream is to be a millionaire and do nothing. That's it. I don't even want to have to, the thing with Luke Shaw, he has to turn up to Carrington. I don't even want to do that. I just want to just sit home and do it. Yeah, Simon Squibb, that's his name. And he always says, like, can I make your dream happen? Can you give me 5 million just to do nothing? Like, my dream is to go for a run in the morning, go to Pilates in the afternoon, you know, look after my family financially, take care of myself, but do nothing. Like, I don't want to work. Doing nothing is haram. I'm making something of my life. You know, I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of my family. My friend is a multi-millionaire and says doing nothing is boring. Just let me try that for 1 year. 1 year. I want to be able to, you know, like pick up my nieces and nephews from school. Like, I can't do that right now because I'm always busy. Like, I just found out the other day my nephew is not in the year that I thought he was. I thought he was in year 2 and I found out he's in year 4. And I've never picked him up. I haven't picked him up from school for the last 2 years. So that is my dream. And if any of you guys share the same dream with me, then we can be dreamers together. And I'm not saying do nothing. When I say do nothing, I mean I don't want to work. But I still want to do stuff, have hobbies, go for a run, go Pilates, you know, go to the what's it called? The flower market, get flowers, do that kind of stuff. That's what, when I say the dream, that kind of stuff, I'm gonna be thinking. My dream is to be Man United's manager, therapist, non-stop business for days. I would love to. Okay, I'm contradicting myself because I'm saying my dream is to never do anything. I don't want to have a job, but I'm also gonna say that my dream is to work for Man United, but not to be Man United's manager's therapist, because that means I have to go to work all the time because he's sad. That means I'd have to go back to work all the time because I have to go and have therapy classes for him because he's sad all the time. But yeah, enough about that. Trust me, Minna, it gets boring. You can have hobbies, but doing literally nothing is brain rot. Why do you think people die soon after retirement? Damn, y'all ain't gotta be so deep. You know what, guys? For me, the goal is financial freedom. That's it. Like, look at, you know, people say why. You know, people always say, like, why do you want to be rich? Like, if you ask a kid today, why do you want to be rich, or why do you want to be financially secure, etc. People always say, oh, so I can buy nice cars, so I can buy a house. Me, I just want to look after my family, man. Like, you know, family saying, yo, I need this. Bam, sorted. Like, my mom, retirement home, sorted. Like, not put her in a retirement home, build her a retirement home. I should have specified that. So let's dream, guys. Like Martin Luther King said, let's dream. Minna, you see New York fired Tibbs. That is something that caught me off guard yesterday completely. I did not expect that at all. But yeah, anyways, let's get back into football talk, guys. So if Man United were to sign Mbeumo around 150-ish, he would be within these people, which I don't know if you guys think is bad or not. I don't know if it's bad or not. You need to get a job at Saudi fan channels too. years back, and you can be financially free from super chat. I don't know what it's like life in Saudi in like having female TV presenters. I ain't seen many. When I watch the Saudi Pro League, I don't really see female presenters. So I have worked with a Saudi Pro League club, and I hope that's the first of many. But yeah, my experience was interesting. I think some of the people that I was working with weren't that used to working with women. But it was a good experience. Eriksen gone, Luke Shaw gone, Lindelof gone, Sancho gone. I don't know how likely Luke Shaw leaving is, but Lindelof leaving, guys. Let's look here quickly. Yeah, Victor Lindelof was earning 6 million gross salary. And Christian Eriksen was earning 150. So Man United are saving about 13 million on their salary books, on their wage book, from letting those two leave. Plus Evans, who obviously was earning a lot less, 3 million, but still that's quite a bit of money. So that's about 16 million or 17 million nearly saved a year from Johnny Evans, Lindelof, and Eriksen all leaving, right? And then any other potential departures would save them money. Luke Shaw is earning 13 million a year. Plus, wow. 13 million. Wow. Of course, I don't know. I don't know how accurate Capology is. Let's look at net pay. Still a lot of money. Net pay is literally nearly half of it, basically. So net pay. No wonder Casemiro doesn't want to leave Man United. He's laughing to the bank every year. 7 million from Mason Mount is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And he's been here for what, 3 years? Where's Patrick Dorgu? Patrick Dorgu. Well, Patrick Dorgu. I'm not laughing because he makes more money than me, but he makes around the same money as Malacia from United, and Malacia's out on loan. Damn. No one, guys, you see why Kobe wants a new contract? Look how much Kobe makes. Look how much Kobe makes. Aiden Heaven. Oh my god. Oh, because he was brought in for the academy, right? Dorgu needs a new agent. If we could get more players like that would accept a salary like Dorgu, I'm all for it. Chido apparently makes 400k. Yeah, but it is the 50% tax code. Yeah, when you earn above a certain amount in the UK, guys, you get taxed on 50% of your earnings. So every footballer gets taxed. They lose half of their money. Mandem laughing at Dorgu, lol. I'm not Mandem, firstly. Secondly, I'm laughing not at Dorgu. I'm laughing at the fact that whoever negotiated his deal did not negotiate it that great. But who am I to speak? But yeah, a lot of these players here: Toby Collier, Aiden Heaven, Harry Mas, Fredrickson, Wheatley, etc. These are all academy players. So this is technically this is their first. This was from their first pro contract at Manchester United, which is why Ahmad earns a lot more. I remember Ahmad used to earn a lot less, and now he earns a lot more. But like I always say, guys, let's not pocket watch. Let's not pocket watch. What Dorgu makes is smart business. This is how United should have been operating for a long time. I do think with the younger players, is very good to be able to offer those kind of salaries and get them in the door. But with saying that, when it comes to players like Mbeumo, when it comes to players like Cunha, it will have to be in the pricier side. And with saying that, guys, who do you think will be the third player that we get some propelling news from about? Who do you think is going to be the next player that we're going to get a lot of a lot of news about? because I'm worried about the lack of midfielders that we're linked to. I'm worried about it, and I am also worried that after Mbeumo, I have a strong feeling Manchester United will be expecting some outgoings first before we go for anybody else in the market. Now, in terms of strikers, you lot say, guys, we're gonna come back to this, yeah. Khalid just said, my sources told me we started talks with Gyökeres. A broken clock might be right twice a day, guys. So we can't laugh at Khalid about this comment. But a lot of you guys are saying Gyökeres. Gyökeres, please. Gyökeres or Osimhen. I'd take Hackney, but I think it's a striker next. We need a midfielder next. We're getting Osimhen and Mekdar. Gyökeres next. Probably won't get a midfielder and team will get overrun. A lot of you lot saying Gyökeres. Damn, you guys actually got hope that United are going to sign Gyökeres. I think what Man United are going to do, I personally think, Yusuf says my sources are also telling me Gyökeres. I think Yusuf and Khalid, I think they are each other's sources. I think they are each other's sources. Didn't Laurie tweet about Osimhen that other day? It's not happening. Laurie Whitwell said the other day that, yeah, that the wages are quite astronomical, but United haven't fully shied away from it. However, I did, from someone I know in Saudi, basically said Osimhen's done deal. It's just they're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. He's about to get a big pay. And Al Hilal are gonna close in. Basically, the Bruno, from what I heard, Bruno news was holding up a lot for Al Hilal. And now that they know the future of Al Hilal without Bruno, they're gonna move a lot quicker. With Osimhen, Edison, and Inzaghi is set to be announced in the next couple of days. What's your monthly salary like, Mina? You guys tell me first, and then I'll tell you guys. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Al Hilal expected to push for Victor Osimhen signing after being turned down by Bruno Fernandes. More money to offer in wages now. They always had the money to offer in wages. They always had the money, and I think Osimhen was always going to Saudi, because last summer he was trying to go to Saudi, but his agent was pushing for the Chelsea move, and Chelsea weren't going to pay the money that Saudi was going to pay. And yeah, Osimhen's about to make generational wealth. He's about to make generational wealth. Muppet is saying striker 8-6, goalkeeper, centre back in that order. That doesn't sound too far off, but why would we be linked to a 6 if we've got Ogate? That's some food for thought, guys. Mina can play striker for us. No promises, guys. I went for a 5k run today. Who can guess what my 5k run time was? If you can guess it, because I've decided to get into running. It's apparently good for your mental health, and it's just, yeah, I don't know how people say it's good for you in terms of mentally, because the whole time I was running, I was just thinking, oh my god, I just want to run into the road right now and let a car hit me, because this is so hard. And I play football about twice a week, guys. Yeah, so I play football twice a week, and you know what people don't tell you as well is how embarrassing it is to run past people in the street. Do you know how embarrassing that is? On my route, I ran past a car that was parked up. It was a group of aunties, and I just felt so embarrassed running past them. I don't know why. It's just so embarrassing. You lot don't respect me. 1 hour, come on. 52 minutes, come on. No. Yeah, this is not too far off. 45 minutes ain't that far off. Yeah, this ain't too far off. In between 37 and 45. But bear in mind, that's my first 5k run. So my goal is to get it to 25. 25 is my goal. But I've seen that the average for women my age is 38. So I'm already running on the average. But I'm aiming one day to run from here to one of my other relatives' house and do it in less than 30 minutes. So we shall see. But does anyone else run in the chat? Because why is it when you turn a certain age, suddenly everyone just takes up running as a hobby? Ossian links too quiet, Mina. I'm nervous. Maybe we might end up with Mateta. Maybe we might end up with Mateta. Or maybe we might end up with no striker. I did see a report today that said that United were willing to listen to offers for Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, which kind of threw me off a little bit. I can't lie. I was thinking, why is Joshua Zirkzee being bunched in? Guys, is that Scott McTominay behind Joshua Zirkzee? Oh, Scott McTominay did play the first game. I was about to say, guys, when did Joshua Zirkzee and Scott McTominay play together? But I just realized this was the first game of the season against Fulham. So he was still there. Zirkzee is worse. I don't think we're going to sell Zirkzee. Qasim says we need a goalkeeper. Well, we are linked to potentially signing Emi Martinez. Now, another report coming again, shout out to James, says James said that during Manchester United's executive committee meeting after the Europa League final, Amorim told the board to be more ambitious and go for better players. And at that same time, they reportedly contacted Gyökeres and Mbeumo. It's reported also that Amorim puts a lot of pressure on the executive committee meeting. Now, just to put this into context, the day after the Europa League final, or the Friday after, so within that week, Amorim flew to, I think it was Monaco, where they were having this meeting that they have all the time. And it was the first time he has attended one of the executive committee meetings. So I'm imagining that the outcome of that meeting, well, that's the meeting that it was reported that they decided he will stay. But he probably said to them, guys, if you want me to stay, we need to get better players. And maybe he gave them a list of type players or a list of profiles to find players that fit those characteristics. But it does sound like if maybe it is Amorim that's pushing for a lot of these players to come through the door. And obviously we'll know more the more the transfer window goes, and there's more concrete talks for maybe a midfielder or maybe a goalkeeper, etc. Wesley says we need to pass on Mbeumo. No way he's extorting us with those wages. We can also get Gyökeres. The thing is, I don't think that Mbeumo is asking for 250. The reason why I'm saying that, I don't think he's asking for 250. I genuinely, maybe I don't know him personally, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of person. I'm kidding, no. But all jokes aside, guys, I think that journalists are just reporting 250 because when this news came out, when David Ornstein dropped the bombshell, every rival fan, the clubs that he reportedly rejected, all of them were saying, "How can Man United do this?" So this is an explanation for that question that everybody has been having. How can Man United get Mbeumo over Newcastle, over Spurs, over Arsenal? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make everyone else feel better about themselves, and everyone else to pile on to Manchester United. And I'm going to tell everyone that he's asking for 250, and United's the only one that's prepared to give him that. Now, yes, I think Man United have to give a attractive incentive to join Manchester United, 100%. But I don't think it's to that extent. And also, can I just say, yeah, a lot of these journalists that are reporting this 250k, these are journalists that I've never seen them get a thing right about Manchester United in my life. How can you be covering the northeast of England and all of your articles are about Sunderland and Newcastle, and suddenly you know that Man United are willing to give 250k a week to Mbeumo? How? Because, excuse my stupidity, guys. Do you think that Mbeumo's agents are telling this to other teams when they're in talks? Oh, Man United are willing to give us 250? Come on. I just don't think it's likely, personally. About 700 million in turnover a year, that's how Man United do it, even when we are crap. Yeah, I don't think people don't realize the how much money that Manchester United make. And also Man United people act like Man United have the highest wage bill in the Premier League. I think their wage to turnover is, I think we're like 6th out of the Premier League teams. We're 6th. So that says a lot. That also says a lot. Let's see if we got any other news, guys. I'm just gonna, before I get ready to wrap it up, didn't United earn their highest revenue this last season despite finishing 15th? They did. It was, I don't know if it was their record, but they did earn a lot. Chido assist versus Mexico under 20. I might check that out. Let me just make sure that there's nothing else. Okay, nothing else for Manchester United news in terms of anything new outside of what we covered today. It looks like City is set to sign Rinders and Ryan Cherki, which will be very, very interesting. And Manchester United are set to sign Mbeumo. Luka Modric, guys, I don't know if you've been following that. Let me bring it up on the screen because it's going to be so weird seeing this guy in a different shirt. Luka Modric is set to join AC Milan. They are nearing a verbal agreement with Luka Modric. What is it? 3.5 million euros net salary plus add-ons. He probably just wants to play ball until the next World Cup. That's it. Big up to Chalaboy comments. Says Mbeumo's negotiating his contract in Central African francs, 250k. Well, how much is that in pounds? Let me hold on. 250,000. That is 320 pounds. That is 320 pounds. Minna says she bought the Cactus Jacks on resale apps. She's rich. Not resale apps. An actual shop. It's not. The resale is not that inflated. But you know what, guys? I'm not even gonna lie. When my mom sees my trainers, and she says, "Oh, those are nice shoes. How much you buy it for?" I lie. I lie all the time. I give the what I imagine it would have costed 20 years ago to buy. So if my trainers cost me £400, I'm telling my mom I bought it for £40. Because then she'll be like, "Oh, they're nice. You should buy them for your relatives in Africa so I can send it to them." Suddenly I'm buying them £400 trainers. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Is Bruno playing tonight? Let me see if the lineup is out. No, it's not. The lineups are not out yet, but he is expected to play. He is a midfield of Vitinha, Neves, and Bruno is actually not that bad. That is actually not that bad. We need to try and get Barcola in, lure him in. We're talking about not paying Mbeumo high wages, but we should lure in Barcola, who's not going to leave PSG. He's not going to leave PSG. But yeah, this thing here, Luka Modric to AC Milan is something that I did not expect. I thought he would go play uncompetitive football. Like I thought he wouldn't want to play in Europe in another rival, like another big European dynasty. AC Milan, they might be not good now, but they are a European dynasty. So I am kind of shocked that he's gone elsewhere. I would have thought he might go to the US, or he might go to like a team like Stuttgart, Frankfurt, like one of those kind of teams. AC Milan obviously finished 8th last season. Loki, we should be in for Modric. United fans, we just want to suffer. As United fans, I swear to you guys, we just want to suffer. Is anybody live right now that I can redirect to, guys? Is there anyone that's live? Let's see. How's Saeed live from South Africa? Saeed is live. Deluded is live. Hussam is live. Hussam is talking about Liverpool stuff. Deluded is talking about Arsenal stuff. Come, let's go spam. What should we spam Saeed in the chat? What should we spam Saeed in the chat, guys? What should we spam in Saeed's chat? Saeed needs to pay for that first class ticket. I saw it. What's it called? I can't lie though. Yeah, fly to South Africa for what's it called? Like a direct flight. You have to try force an upgrade somehow. Like me, when I go to airports, guys, I sweet talk people at the check-in desk. Like I sweet talk people at the check-in desk all the time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, guys, make sure you take care of him with man. You lot go to Saeed's chat and spam Bruno staying, Bruno staying, Bruno, like just spam it in the chat. Just spam it, spam it, spam it. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. If there's any breaking news tonight, obviously you lot know I will be live. If not, tomorrow, Daily Dose of Minna, 4:30 p.m. UK time. You guys know what it is. Hit the like button on your way out. Remember, Bruno's staying. Go and spam that. I'm out, guys. Peace.